Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Lorelei and Space Deviant.
1995's Hackers has that special kind of place in my heart.
Yak. Get a job.
Article after article on my various feeds reiterating the acceleration of AI and all the implicit doom and gloom that accompanies the thought of cultural creep towards a real-life Skynet surveillance state.
And do absolutely nothing. And your name goes to 17 computers a day. 1984, you're right, man. That's a typo. Orwell's here now. He's living large. We had no names, man. No names. We are nameless.
It's all intended to impart a feeling of hopelessness.
There will be an eye in the sky and near in every device.
Well, let me explain the New World Order.
But Hackers stands in direct opposition to this technological nihilism.
Look, you want to be elite? You got to do a righteous hack.
Reminding us that behind the technology are people.
Those talented folks who make the sausage itself. They are the individual human beings.
What did we learn in school today?
Revenge.
Thinking, feeling people who get to choose where they stand.
Each and every one of us is responsible for the keeping of our own souls.
It comes with some responsibility. When I was a child, spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things.
And I believe that those quiet elite, because of their intelligence and ability to think deeply, naturally tend toward the upper tiers, those of good, because to do anything else is a call for civilization to cease existing.
Free will, it is a bitch.
Our movie starts out with little Dade Murphy, Zero Cool, the 11-year-old, genius super prodigy, being sentenced to 7 years of probation.
This defendant possesses a superior intelligence, which he uses to a destructive and antisocial end.
We watch as his weak boomer dad winces at the court-ordered financial burden. And we aren't surprised when, after fast-forwarding to Dade's 18th birthday, in the next scene it shows a fatherless family having to be uprooted. The mother apologizing to her son for having to pluck him out of school.
I'm sorry we had to move in your senior year. I didn't want to sell the house, but I had to take this new job. You know that.
Crash Override Dade begins senior year, mid-1990s, New York.
A New York that still looks like New York City should look. This movie really is a lineup of leading actors who went on to spend the next several decades shining on the silver screen.
Johnny Lee Miller as our leading man Dade.
Angelina Jolie is our leading lady love interest, Kate Libby.
I guessed. You are man enough to stick with the deal, aren't you?
Matthew Lillard, a.k.a. Serial Killer.
Spandex, it's a privilege, not a right.
And there is certainly no lack of chemistry between our two leads.
If I didn't live by a strict code of honor, I might take advantage of this situation. Erotically, as it were.
Knowing that the actors themselves went on to get married.
I hope you don't screw like your type.
At least briefly.
The editing is phenomenal.
Giving us a glimpse inside Dade's brilliant ADHD mind. Cut together clips that feel as fresh as a modern YouTube montage. But when baby-faced Jesse Bradford's Joey Pardella.
You and me, Lucy. We're gonna show him, baby.
The group's try-hard underdog stumbles upon mysterious trash file.
Yeah, garbage. Okay, give me garbage.
That turns out to contain proof of an evil embezzlement plot.
Mr. Belford?
My name is the Plague.
Mr. the Plague, something weird's happening on the net.
As in what, you hapless techno-weenie?
The accounting subdirector in the Gibson's working really hard. We got one person online, and the workload is enough for 10 users. I think we got a hacker.
By the petty Plague and his greedy lover and accomplice, played by Lorraine Bracco. The plot thickens.
I created Mr. Da Vinci so we could call in the Secret Service, so they'd arrest the hacker, seize his equipment, things that we can't do on our own.
I don't want to go to jail for this.
Relax. Think about the $25 million.
But you've created a virus that's going to cause a worldwide ecological disaster.
They make something that is, in reality, very boring, look like an Indiana Jones adventure.
There's blackmail, betrayal, and a slow burn enemies to lovers romance.
Are you challenging me?
Name your stakes.
If I win, you become my slave.
A trope which I have come to despise, seeing it as a direct factor in an entire generation of women, myself included, being subtly trained to be adversarial towards men.
It was a lie. Bastard! It was all a lie!
But in this particular story, it works.
That's a nice score for a girl.
Never send a boy to do a woman's job.
The movie stays fun.
The dialogue is fast, and although it falls prey to some of the issues that come with turn of phrase, it's overall incredibly watchable.
But the key to this movie being an antidote to the anxiety of AI acceleration is this.
You're not good enough to beat me, you little shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm not. We are, you asshole.
In the end, the good hackers are better than the bad hackers.
Are we fashionably late?
Okay, let's go.
And it's more than just multiple people working together for the greater good. But it's that combined with the individuals within that confederacy of the elite being better on average than those who work for the darkness.
And in this sort of race, there's no silver medal for finishing second.
Least we forget those architects of the cult of coding that can see the cracks in the foundation.
I don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Because to work for the darkness is inherently an act of evil.
Are we negotiating? Always.
And to work for evil is to surrender a part of your soul.
Jesus, you know you're sick, Eugene.
Maybe not all of it at once.
But piece by piece, over time, until there is nothing left but a husk. Puppeted by a dark hand from above, using strings of shame to make the marionette move.
Free will. It's like butterfly wings. Once touched, they never get off the ground.
And of those who choose to work for the darkness, while truly understanding the greater implications, I have no doubt that many, if not most, would never build electronic prison walls without also building in the back doors.
Nah. I don't play well with others.
Our hacker heroes reveal the villainous plot and avoid an ecological disaster.
Here to tell you about this heinous scheme hatched from within Ellingson Mineral. But for what, you ask? World domination? Nay. Something far more tacky. A virus called Da Vinci that when launched would cause Ellingson Mineral tankers to capsize was to be blamed on innocent hackers.
Not merely by exposing the truth to the public that only half understands,
but by using their skills to stop a threat
which others either are unwilling to stand against or unable to see the threat therein. As do most of my favorite movies, this movie ends on a happy, hopeful note. The handsome leads making out in a rooftop pool. Even with some of the silly speak, this movie still stands the test of time.
But more importantly, it reminds us behind all the looming technology and every twist of wire and every line of code, therein lies the hand of man.
When the palm of our oligarchical oppressors push too far, we can always clench our own hand into a much mightier fist.
You wage wars, murder, cheat, lie to us and try to make us believe it's for our own good, yet we're the criminals. Yes, I am a criminal. My crime is that of curiosity. I am a hacker, and this is my manifesto. Huh? Right? Manifesto? You may stop me, but you can't stop us all.
It's a classic 90s movie. I know you probably like this one even more than I do. It was a favorite of yours.
I've seen it dozens of times.
The reason I had us watch it, even though, of course, having them nerd out over the computer
has a killer refresh rate.
P6 chip. Triple the speed of the Pentium.
Yeah, it's not just the chip. It has a PCI bus. But you knew that.
Indeed.
Oh, it's got like, I think at the time it was like 32 kilobyte.
Ooh, that's fire.
Kilobyte. It's like not even 56K, you know.
And they did make something like that's very boring, seem very cool. But why I like it is it comes down to good versus evil.
Those being portrayed by the state as evil are actually the good guys in this case.
I wouldn't go that far because the state, as soon as the state figured out who it was, remember, the federal agent arrested him.
Unrealistically rolled over and were like, we got our bad guy. Rich people are going to jail. Rich people don't go to jail.
I like to believe that there are still good, noble men in the system who will do their duty. Now, I know powers that be have been working to replace them all, but you need the good on all sides. Because the hackers were willing to take the risk, they saved the day.
They're chaotic good.
Yeah, it's not untrue.
Chaotic good. You have to look at it in D&D terms. Whereas the other guy is just like, straight up.
Good. Yeah, the lawful good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was talking, or the bad guy.
Oh, the bad guy is chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil, if we're going to.
Because his girlfriend's more, she's evil, but she's neutral evil. She just wants to make money. He actually wants, it's like he's going out of his way.
Oh, he's enjoying it.
Yes.
Yeah, he plays a really good bad guy.
Never fear. I is here.
I always remember him from Short Circuit 2.
Be that. Do not be touching me, sir. Turn the power on to its topmost capacity. Get back.
25's alive.
Number 5 is alive.
Part of what made me want to review this was all the AI stuff. On my feed, I get it. Whether it's the AI slop or whether it's doom baiting, I don't know what the right word for it these days is, where they're just like, we're cooked. I don't want to hear that, one. And I don't believe that, frankly. There's no train that with enough effort can't be taken off the tracks. And when I look at this movie, you've got the bad guy who's got all the power. He's got the money, he's got the control, he's got the whole system and network set up.
Got the feds working for him, or at least up to an extent.
Yeah, whether or not they know they're doing it, he's still manipulating them. Yeah.
Yeah, all around, it's a pretty good movie. You got Angelina Jolie, who's like young, hot Angelina Jolie back in the day. And
the only thing I don't like, of course, is everybody's being raised by a single mom.
Anything else? You want me to mow the lawn? Oops. Forgot. New York, no grass.
The dad abandoned the family when he got found guilty.
Your son is in big trouble. He has violated his probation and he has engaged in criminal activity.
My son happens to be a genius. He understands something happening today that you won't comprehend if you live to be 100, and he would never use what he knows to harm a living soul.
The news crew you requested is here?
Oh, good, because I have a few things to tell them.
They make her out to be a real hero girl boss, of course.
Wow, she's great.
Yeah.
But then they say the same sort of thing about Angelina Jolie's mom being an author who writes books about...
Her mom makes big bucks writing self-help books for women. Stuff like women who love men who are emotional amoeba.
It's like a feminist writer kind of thing.
So I know in my heart of hearts, no matter how this movie ended, even though I love the ending on the pool, that couple did not work. They didn't work out in real life. They didn't work out in the movies either. No, not with both of them coming from strong single mothers. No,
Men brains larger than dogs, so they wouldn't hump women's legs at cocktail parties. Ruth Libby.
I'm not so sure your mother qualifies as a significant author of the 20th century.
Her last book sold 2 million copies.
Serial killer, Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard gets to quote the Bible in this movie. I love it. I'm a big fan of his.
A worm and a virus? Plot thickens.
We've got the better hackers. We've got the more noble, the more moral, and the more intelligent. I think they go together. I personally don't believe that your most evil people are your most intelligent. I believe that to truly be evil, there's a little bit something broken inside you. Good will triumph. It has to.
I don't think you can necessarily determine intelligence by moral standing, because even the most intelligent people can be manipulated, especially at certain points. Okay, if they're in, it happens.
Sure.
So, or can be led to believe one thing, and then eventually they come to realize, oh, that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
it's different than
like
what I thought.
did. I spent my 20s being a feminist, and then finally woke up to the fact that it's mind virus. I'm not saying I'm the most intelligent. I'm saying, and yes, intelligent people can change. My point is that they thought they were doing good the whole time. I'm talking about someone, I say that there's something broken in you. If you do evil, if you hurt children, if you actively hurt people, hurt the innocent, to either make yourself money or for perverse evil, there's something broken inside you. Lesser. Now, those people may be able to manipulate highly intelligent people, and they may have some really smart people amongst them. But I do not believe I think there's a certain level of creative genius that does not exist within that level of evil. You can't have that art. You can't have certain level of beauty.
Well, yeah. You're not gonna. Yeah, usually those intelligences are pretty opposed. You have the manipulative.
Yeah, you can have a Machiavellian personality, but you're not going to have a Da Vinci.
Most of your artists, true great artists, they'll be poor, a lot of times destitute. They'll, or the very intelligent people. Like, for instance, we'll go with not necessarily artistic, but similar vein, creative. Tesla. You don't care about money. You just basically you're for humanity. That was
Tesla
your aim.
was an idiot. Have our Tesla argument.
But that's along the same lines.
Tesla should have married an industrialist daughter who would have made money from free electricity.
You don't have to argue and fight. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
To that regards. They'll use people who are poor and destitute. They have the money, and they'll use the people who are creative.
Well, a lot of times they have to lie to the most creative ones because the most creative ones won't actively do evil. But my point is, even the ones that will take the money and will do a little bit of evil, I have to believe that they're going to leave a back door into the system.
Well, yeah, back around to the AI, exactly. We've reached the point where, less people are required for a lot of things. And that included, like, once they can write things into the system, they can change algorithms, they can just instantaneously hack people's accounts constantly. But AI is kind of getting to the point where in the hacking field of things, it's a very low effort, especially once they find a vulnerability, they code it in. They can just be like, okay, this person's account. All they do is just click on them. Boom, hacked.
I'm talking about AI taking over everything.
AI is the point where it's a zero skill, not like hackers.
Which is why it's going to have to go back to being people. ChatGPT, the only thing it does well
that's the thing.
is boost my ego, and it doesn't even do that well half the time.
They got rid of that.
Well, some people go
going crazy.
It's not useful if I ask it a fact question because it just gives me wrong facts.
Yeah.
So it's not useful. It's not a good piece of technology.
I've seen some people who talked about it. It's like called shitification.
Yes. Shitification.
Shitification.
Amen.
So,
I've heard that.
so the AI and the searches and everything used to be really good. Like original Google search back in the day was great. I mean, you could find anything instantaneously. Now it's garbage. Yeah, it's probably the worst search.
No one has websites anymore.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Garbage.
It's gone to ads and it's gone to profiteering to the max. And now they're to the point where they're screwing their own customers and even the people who are buying the ads, they're screwing them too. So eventually they're just going to screw themselves out of business. So it's coming down to having to use different independent search engines. Like I use DuckDuckGo and some of these other ones. Now they're not perfect by any means. They're better, but they all
still suck.
They've all been, again, they were all better at one point.
Well, they're all owned by the same companies.
Exactly. A lot of them are using the same source code.
What it's going to have to be are companies that refuse to go on the stock market. It's going to have to be privately owned companies who want to pass a business down to their sons and their sons to their grandsons, and they want that name to mean something.
I did like all the graphics they had, even though their most ridiculous thing ever has nothing to do with real hacking. Of course they have to make it entertaining.
The creative director, the art director, whoever actually chose that, because you know how sitting in front of a computer,
it's just number,
boring as sin.
It's just basically just putting up code. How much time it took to, that was like half their budget was probably paying people to make a lot of that, just make a little 3D.
Well, you're right, though, when it does the building and the trash file and all that
different stuff. There's a bunch of different scenes that are like that. It's like, man, the amount of time it took probably back in the 90s to do that stuff.
I think that's part of why it holds up. I'm quick to talk shit about CGI, especially once it's gotten more than a minute old. If you use it like gold gilt, like a paintbrush, if you're using it like in Gladiator when they built out the crowds, when they built out the stadium, they did such a good job in this Hackers movie that they picked a style. They made it look digital and kind of dry, but at the same time it was cool. I think it holds up. It looks like they wanted it to look in 1994. I'm happy with that.
Artistic gilding. Using the artistic elements. Yep.
The costumes were great. I mean, they're so 90s.
It's 90s.
And mind you, this was the 90s that no one really actually...
Wallet chains and the...
Maybe you'd go to the club looking like that. Maybe there's certain places you go looking like that.
There's plenty of people with wallet chains.
Oh, wallet chains, yeah.
All that shit.
Well, you'd have elements of those in the outfit, but all of them were just perfectly styled, like all dressed to the nines. Every part of their outfit was like punk, or that was perfect. The costume director really did think. I'm trying to think, what classic tale does it kind of... Robin Hoodie, I guess. Robin Hood would be my best.
Yeah, it's got a little Robin Hood-esque.
Got to get his band of merry men together.
So here's the deal. The chosen contest, to hassle Secret Service agent Richard Gill and get one back for Joey.
The competition between him and...
Our decisions are final by a vote of 2-1. No appeals.
The duel will last until we declare a winner.
Which is hilarious, because at that point, the FBI agent's working for the bad guy. Now, the FBI agent doesn't know that he's working for the bad guy.
I think we got something.
Ugh. Hard copy.
Thinks he's just working with a company. But in that sense, when we see him getting tormented by these guys, like, we don't...
Hey! Ah! Hey! You know who I am? Do you know who I am?
We don't really feel bad for him, because you're working for the baddies.
Did you find the program for the virus on any of the disks we confiscated?
No. He's either very smart or very stupid.
He still has the moral high ground as soon as he realizes what's what and who's who, and arrests the bad guy and turns tail. You couldn't have that in a movie now. You couldn't have someone put an FBI agent's name in the perverted want ads.
Your earlobes. I want to lick your lips.
Yeah, you gonna lick?
And then I'm gonna.
You want to lick something? Lick this.
Joke about it nowadays.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
And that was the actor. That was They got a guy that was funny that could actually see. This is the same thing when we were watching Boondock Saints. Willem Dafoe's character, homophobic, homosexual. If you had taken that out of the movie wouldn't be as funny. I think that's why movies aren't as funny.
Right. They take all those parts out. Nowadays, you can't put those on the screen for the most part.
You have characters. These hackers are not, they're good guys in the sense they don't want to kill the environment. They don't want to hurt people. But they're not ultra moral. They're still teenage jerks. We got to see them be jerks. We got to see them be kids.
And they had Hackers Unite.
I get on the internet, send out a major distress signal.
Hackers of the world unite.
Army of hackers and...
Wolf of Wall Street probably couldn't get made nowadays. The stockbroker scumbags were hilarious. They were so funny. All the scumbaggery stuff they were doing, they were open about it. But to watch them and to watch them be hilarious, and when they're on Quaaludes, watching them do the villain stuff, and because they're so talented, it's enjoyable, and it's also their character. Do we really need to have the bumper rails on our entertainment?
Well, at this point, they expect you to expect it. That you should just accept it and like it.
I don't watch it.
And it's like, no, we just don't watch that.
When you stepped out and I put on Disparu,
yep,
I'm not watching that new Star Trek. Not unless someone literally pays me to review it specifically. I don't want to do that. I don't consent. It would have to be an assignment from someone at some point. But I'll watch Disparu review it. I love to watch the high-handed Englishmen make fun of it. That's the only way I can tolerate it. Because if I had to actually sit...
That's torture.
That's torture. That is torture.
You'd have to just look at it like you're going to have fun making fun of it the entire time, and that's it.
I don't have a great time hate watching. I don't like it.
We gotta have a special niche personality for that, to do some hate watching.
Idea for the Lady Spy thing. That's what it makes me do. Watch something horrible. I think about something that's similar to it, but so much better. You know, I want to introduce people like, hey, remember this thing that sucked? Well, if you kind of like this genre, this is a better version of it. Rewatching Lady Hawk, oh, it was so fun. Loved it. My time watching it was enjoyable. But I remember trying to watch She-Hulk. We were in the middle of lockdown. There's no TV. This would ended up pushing me actually over to Gary, like Nerdrotic, because there was another channel I watched, a reviewer channel, like a more popular pushed one. And he was reviewing She-Hulk. And I could see in his little nerd eyes he was lying.
But he was pushing like he liked it.
There's no way you like this.
They're paid actors.
No way you like this.
Paid actors in the YouTube spectrum.
I didn't realize that was a thing then. I mean, this was whenever She-Hulk came out was when this was. So I was definitely not the conspiracy theorist I am now. But I'm looking at this shithead lie. YouTube weasel. You nerd. You dishonest nerd. How dare you review this tripe trash and stand here and try to tell me there's anything redeeming in it. And I can see in your face how much you hated it. And there were several of them. There were several of like the big ones that were soft showing. Now, eventually they came out, and once it was okay to hate She-Hulk, then they started hating on She-Hulk. I have no interest in them, liars. I had to wander around until I found, the Friday Night Tights crew, where they're not going to lie about what they actually like or don't like. They may argue to the end of the world, this, that, the other, about whether or not they think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Cool. It is, and whatever, you're wrong if you don't think so. But still, every single one of them believes what's coming out of their mouth, and I respect that. Cultural gaslighting. That's the only way I can think about it. That'll drive you mad.
And cultural denigration.
Mm-hmm.
Basically intentionally casting certain elements in society to bad light.
White young men. Those are the villains. Actually, all white men, because, old white men are the powerful villains. But then, young white men, those are the whipping boys that they get to call, like, incels and nerds.
The real problem is they can't make good characters. They would be way more successful if they could make good characters, but they're not able to. They're not able to write good characters while trying to do that. No one has any character growth. No one has any of the elements that characters should have.
I firmly believe that most really great writers have lived lives, worked a lot of weird jobs, done a lot of stuff. These kids, these schmucks, these idiots that they have writing this stuff now, these kids are college age. They haven't done anything.
Back to
Their
our
brains
AI
aren't
argument. Half of it is, I mean, that's literally what they're teaching kids. They tell them not to do it, but they're being incentivized to do it.
AI isn't creative.
No, it's not.
There's nothing creative about
No,
AI.
it's not. It's for the uncreative. Generally. I mean, you can use it to make creative things. It's like a tool. You know, it's a tool. You can use it in a way that, sure, it's creative and it's beneficial.
But not for writing, not for creative writing, not for script writing. I can see it.
Oh, yeah, it's obvious.
I can see it.
It's obvious. In a lot of these, it's real obvious in these shows and movies.
They don't even go back over it. It's bad enough if you skeleton out a script and then clean it up. That's already...
That's, yeah.
You're gross. But to skeleton out a script and not polish it, not go over it with a fine-tooth comb. There is so much room in our culture for good storytelling. There's so much room for great writers. I think about the first time I ever got on a plane. I think it was around 2008 or 2009. And I was worried. I don't like flying. But when I was in when we were getting on, the pilot walked past me. And I'll never forget. He was about, 5'11" or so. And he had this strut. I mean, he was just like a 30-something-year-old black guy. But the strut was 100% Air Force. It was, I could park this bus. I could take flak.
But you could tell a lot of times on the way they're standing, it's like, oh, that's Air Force.
At that moment, he didn't say anything to me. He didn't say, we're going to have a good flight. He didn't say anything to me. I saw him with that confident attitude, that Air Force training. I knew I was in good hands. Did I worry for 1 minute in 2008 about a black guy being my pilot? Nope. I saw that Air Force competence and confidence just dripping off of him. Now, if I were to get on a plane, oh God, as a black woman, do you think she was like a stewardess last year? I know they're trying to promote from within. Oh God, should she be in it? This is what happens with DEI. This is what happens. You don't raise people up, you lower your quality. If you keep your quality high, anyone can eventually get in because it's a standard and the admission should be colorblind. We can see from phase 4 and 5 of Marvel, a lot of women in there. A lot of women of color too. But are these the best writers? Are these the best directors? Are these the people in charge of those projects that could have given us the very best product?
Who is willing to accept and do the thing and accept whatever your games you're playing in the background? That's what it's all about in this business. And they've said that for years.
I want to judge you by what you're doing. And we've gotten away from that. We've gotten away from colorblindness, which was a good thing.
All Shamus to say, well, we shouldn't judge people, but it's all for profit and it's all for an interior.
No, it's a destruction.
It's all for an interior.
It's not
motive.
for profit.
They have a reason they're trying to do it. Okay.
Oh, to destroy the culture is why they're trying to do it.
Yes.
White men are the backbone of American culture. They've always been the backbone of American entertainment.
I mean, they've been trying to push it since like the 80s, and then it's really amped up since about 2016. They really started pushing it hardcore.
Time's up. They time's up. They're trying to make it time's up on Western culture, and I'm not going to do it. Because I assure you, when they put the 19th Amendment in, they were not foreseeing the Karens. They were not foreseeing birth control, no-fault divorce, and OnlyFans. How? How did the men that won World War II, how are 1 in 10 of their great-granddaughters prostitutes? How? But we won, though, right? We won.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons and deep things to it. It comes down to economy, and it comes down to
not that deep.
I mean, really,
in the long run,
our work in it. This is going to change, but as our technology is, we shouldn't have to work 40 hours a week. That's all there is to it. That shouldn't have to happen. We're past that point technologically, where if we wanted to, we could institute where people.
The fact that you still think about that as a thumb standard before industrialism, at family farms, I don't think people are meant to leave the home. I think sons are meant to work with fathers. I think daughters are meant to work with mothers. I think I don't think necessarily you need to be commuting. Even a man needs to be commuting 2 hours a day to work 8 hours and then commute 2 hours home. I mean, I do believe that a man should make enough for 5-6 person family. I want to go back to that. But I also want to get away from industrialization in general.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to have. It's supposed to be a close knit culture. We're supposed to have. Just even in cities as they are today, it's not supposed.
Well, why did it go away?
We
religion?
never grew up that way.
Religion, the church, the death of the church is what has torn cultures apart, and everybody going into the cities. All civil war. Civil war destroyed rural Southern agrarian culture. Made us peasants.
What the hackers? We're keeping on course here. God damn it.
I miss Angelina Jolie acting.
Yeah?
Last thing I remember was one where a kid was kidnapped and they gave her back a kid that wasn't hers.
Okay.
Changeling.
Because I remember she did the one that it was, the Disney one, where it was like the...
Oh, come on, that's funny.
Oh, I hated that one. Bad man, the bad...
True love does not exist.
The bad man
I thought she did all right, but the whole story wasn't a very good story.
Oh, she did fine.
It was like, yeah, she did good on it.
It was more feminist propaganda. At least it was a pretty tale, but I didn't enjoy the story because there wasn't a male hero.
I'm looking for a girl.
Of course you are.
And it wasn't the boy that woke her up. It was her mother's love. That wasn't even her mother. It was a woman that hated this. Oh my God, you're missing the point. Like, you're missing the point. Let's take the real Sleeping Beauty story for a minute, like back to a kind of theological level. It's the idea of a man hearing the story that his father told about this far-off kingdom that used to be incredible, that he remembers tales of his father visiting. And he's the kind of kid, he's got that, he wants to fix it. He's going to fix it. And he's got the brains, he's got the brawn, and he's got the drive, and he's noble. He fights through the thorn thickets. Everything he does, he proves that he's good enough to be her husband and to rule the kingdom. And the key is, in my mind, the way this is set up in almost a historical tale, is like you have a kingdom that's weak, that's either fallen into bad rulership or we've run out of sons, and there's the idea of combining with another kingdom, someone who is a fit, strong ruler. And now that kingdom's going to come back to life because the princess is joined with the prince. It's the masculine reinvigorating of the sleeping feminine. That's almost similar to the Snow White tale when it comes to a jealous, older woman attacking, manipulating, and targeting a younger woman she's jealous.
Well, yeah, that's the core of humanity. It's always been that way since the dawn of time.
The way we tell these stories, and like where the young girl goes to sleep, that's her development going to sleep. That's where she stops developing. She becomes emotionally mature, and the cycle keeps going on.
Yep. That's
what I see. I see these stories trying to warn us, and I see so many people stuck in it. Stuck in those cycles. And I think that's why they're trying to get rid of good storytelling. Because good storytelling teaches you how to break the curse. Whatever the curse of your family is, whatever curse you were born into, there is a story.
There's hope, greatness. They build and overcome the problems and grow as people and characters.
Embodied within that hope is the fundamental belief in the potential of every person to be a force for good.
There's a way out.
Yep.
But if you believe you're perfect just the way you are, if you believe that girl boss garbage that you just had to realize how powerful you were.
If you're perfect the way you are, you never grow.
Exactly. The power was always within you. If you never had to learn, grow, strive, sacrifice, change, realize you were wrong.
Is it a psyop, or is it just or the pushings of the psychology of the people who
invented psychology?
Who are right? Well, let's not get into that. That's a whole fucking other argument. But I'm saying that's their psychology. They're such narcissists, so they're just inserting their way of thinking into it. Even if it's not a psyop, a lot of these writers and people, they're just such narcissists and such.
Could not possibly agree with you more on that statement. I think it goes even deeper because the people at the top are putting those incompetent people in there on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
But those incompetent people, they're incompetent because they're emotionally immature, because they can't build a good character because they can't think about how anyone else might feel in a given situation. They cannot put themselves into another person's shoes. They haven't lived a life.
And a lot of times they're put in place primarily because they're easy to control and they're willing to accept and do whatever they're told to do. They say, well, get rid of this, do this, put this in there. They're not going to kick back. They're just going to do whatever they're told.
Deep down, they know they don't deserve the position they're in. It's a gift.
When you have somebody who pushes back, you have
someone with a vision. When someone has in their mind what they want to see, they're not going to stop.
They get the itch. That's all they're about. I'm making this movie.
But then that's how we get.
You get the Lynch.
Yes. Lynch had a vision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can't say I necessarily can see Lynch's vision.
Well, like with Dune, that's why he disowned it for a while, because they didn't let him actually do what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Because there was the story to stick to a sense.
Well, it was more that he had a timeline he had to be within.
That's not Lynchian.
At least an hour plus of material.
Yeah, I watched the version you had me watch.
Yeah. Spice Driver.
Yes, it made way more sense.
Yep.
It fleshed it out.
It had a lot. They took out so much that really tied it together. Like, even though there's sound guns and stuff like that were added, but it didn't bother me.
No. Even a movie like Hackers, he wanted to tell a story, and I think he told that story.
Yep.
I left knowing who the good guy was, who the bad guy was. I had a great time. Even rewatching it, it was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty much a hero's journey in a sense.
Oh, even the cheesy with Puerto Rican where he's getting arrested and then his mama starts beating him.
La computadora de mierda. Que te dije que no estés jugando con esa computadora.
What are you waiting for? Arrest me already.
He's like, get me out of here.
Arrest me.
Yeah, hurry up and arrest me. Yeah, it's like it's safer. I love that. If you've ever had a Puerto Rican friend and been over at their house, that's not stereotype. That's a fact. Or stereotypes don't fall out of the sky. Like, I don't know what you want to say, but I have definitely seen Puerto Rican mamas throw hands.
Got a lot of Spanish cultures.
Shouldn't have been acting like you needed slapping if you didn't want to get slapped.
Keep them in line.
Exactly.
Oh, we got to keep them in line.
But it was funny.
Oh, yeah, it was funny. It was great.
Oh, even their back and forth joke and the callback. How she lies to him about there being a pool on the roof.
Hold the door.
Oh my God, he found the pool.
And then the very final scene is them together on the roof pool. It's like a human wrote the story and paid attention to the story they were writing and remembered what they did in the first scene and then cared enough about it, call it back in the last scene, like rewarding the audience.
Hang on.
Pool on the roof must have a leak.
And the main guy, he was humble enough, character-wise.
Why did he come to you?
I got a record. I was zero cool.
Zero cool? Crashed 1,507 systems in one day? Biggest crash in history. Front page New York Times, August 10th, 1988. I thought she was black, man.
I think that was the point where she went from like hating him to love. Plus, because he had beat her. He had beat her in the game, and from there on, she's like,
Well, it looks like I'm on top. Congratulations. No one's ever beat her before. Just made an enemy for life.
She didn't like the fact that he'd beat her, but then once she found out who he was, Her respect for him went up.
Yes, exactly. Then it was like, oh.
Now, I will still say I do not like the enemies to lovers trope. You know, this is that classic that was absolutely put into my little head. 10, 11 years old. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to compete with a man in his thing and try to beat him at it.
Plenty of things that women can be, you know, good as or better than guys at.
That's not the
And hacking
point.
is one of them.
It's not the hacking thing. It's not the point. It's the intrasex competition. It's setting it up like it's cool, like men like it when women compete with it. No. Men like to compete, but they don't like to compete with a sex object. So if you're going to compete with that man, you are no longer in the sex object range. He can respect you as a peer, theoretically. Men are great
Competitive
respecting
men
peers.
don't like women who are competitive.
Women are only attracted to competitive men.
But
so a beta man is not going to be attractive to women, and alpha women are not going to be attractive to dominant men.
Mega Man.
Passive.
Established
A man
tropes.
that knows what he wants, or a man that's willing to let a woman walk all over him.
I think it's overgeneralizing. There's plenty of women who aren't about that and vice versa.
I disagree with you. I believe women are much simpler on a
The
biological
guys who are
level.
like, I'm an alpha male.
I'm talking about someone. I don't feel like I should have to explain this. D1 athlete, intelligent, competent, kind to old ladies, helps dogs, Superman. I'm not talking about a 10 Superman. I'm talking about a 6 Superman. I'm talking about a dude says what he means, does what he says, will not do something that he thinks is immoral or wrong for anyone. And if he has to throw hands about it, he will. It's not something he wants to do. That's classic masculinity. I don't feel like it needs a seminar.
Which Hackers, you know, it had its fair share of like it had the playoff between, you know, masculine and feminine. And it was you know, that was the thing.
Computer cowboys. Yeah. Hackers made computer stuff seem athletic.
Yeah. It made it seem cool.
Yes.
And that's what I was saying about all the graphics and stuff. Like they made it seem cool enough where like the average person could be like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I get it.
It's that same having a new baseball star come to town and join the baseball team. Having a new football player come in and join the football team. But this time it's the hacker on the hacker team. It's different, but it's the same. And I'm saying that even that same kind of principle that gives you the football star is the same thing that Johnny Lee Miller was representing in Hackers. Intelligence, excellence, innovation, artistry in his excellence. Hackers was a good movie. I'm glad we rewatched it, but it gives me hope that no matter how bad things get, there's enough top tier noble nerds that will be able to pull the plug.
Don't get too cocky, my boy, no matter how good you are. Don't ever let them see you coming. That's the gaff, my friend. You gotta keep yourself small, innocuous. Be the little guy. You know, the nerd, the leper, shit-kicking surfer. Look at me. Underestimated from day one. You'd never think I was a master of the universe now, would you?
America, built to last.
That's right.
No, that's right. They'll be flying that flag all night.
Red, white, and blue.
Thank you for joining us here today. We really do appreciate your time. I'm Lorelei, and this is
Space Deviant.
And together, we are Southern Fried Cinema Siblings. And remember, the most important story is the story you tell yourself, so
make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You're still here, are you? Well, why don't you make yourself useful? Click the share button. Click the subscribe button. May as well go ahead and click for the next episode, too.